I recently went to Goodwill and bought a whole bunch of stained, dirty, ripped, gross, disgusting Squishmallows. And I'm on a mission to clean them up and do something with them and give them new life and purpose. So welcome back to another video and welcome back to another installment of Cursed Squishmallow Crafts, the series where I take Squishmallows and I turn them into something else that they're not supposed to be. They're really not. Today we're working with these 3 Yeti Squishmallows that I got at Goodwill, and thankfully these were probably the least offensive in terms of damage and grime and dirt. These didn't have any stains or tears or rips or crustiness or anything like that, so I just gave them a good wash in the washer and they're all good to go. Side note, a few of you did ask to see the cleaning process for some of the Squishmallows that I bought from Goodwill, and I will be including a little bit of that in future videos where I work with those specific dirty Squishmallows. When I was sourcing these Squishmallows from Goodwill, I was trying to keep an eye out for similar theming that I could incorporate into a project. For example, buying all purple Squishmallows, or buying all tie-dye Squishmallows, or buying all cats, or buying all octopi, something like that. That way I have a bunch of ones of a similar theming and I can use those for one specific project, and the project is a little more cohesive where, you know, it has a distinct theme versus kind of like the chaotic projects I've been doing before that are kind of all over the place, which is fine. We love the chaos over here, but I do want to try my best with these future projects to make them just like a little more cute and a little more aesthetic. So for today's project, I thought it was about time that we make another shirt. I'm very excited for this. We are going to be doing a different technique than the original Squishmallow shirt that I've made, which if you haven't seen the process video for that one, I think it was just a TikTok that I did a couple years ago. But today's process is going to be similar to the tote bag and blanket that I have made, and I do have full videos on those on this channel if you want to check them out. But without further ado, let's get into making this shirt. So we're starting off with a good old seam ripper, and I'm taking that to the butt of the Squishmallow, and I am trying to take out that little like oval piece that's on the very bottom of the Squishmallow. So after seam ripping all around, we can just take that off, and now we have full access to the insides, so you can just go ahead and reach in there and just definitely make that Squishmallow look very uncomfortable and pull out all of the insides just like that. So now the Squishmallow has no organs, just skin, and we can go ahead and continue seam ripping up the sides. Now this particular one was tricky because once I got to the head, the seam kind of ended. I don't know, there was some finicky stuff with the fabric in there. There was a lot of layers because of the hat and stuff, and I'll touch on that again later. But this is as far as I could get with this specific Squishmallow, so we're gonna come back to this because it proves to be an issue for me later on. But I continued seam ripping and just using the same technique, just taking out that little oval piece on the bottom. That way I have full access to the inside of the Squishmallow to pull out all the stuffing. This particular one was scented, so it had a little scent bead pack, but after I got rid of all of that, I just pulled out all the stuffing as per usual. There we go. And once again, we are left with Squishmallow flesh. So we can just take this bad boy very gently and continue to seam rip. This one was more straightforward. I was able to do it throughout the entire Squishmallow. That way I could separate it into 2 distinct flesh pieces. And while trying to stretch this out to show you, literally her ear came off in my hand. What a jump scare. So I just went ahead and pulled those both off. And now we just have one remaining Squishmallow. After that one was all done, it is time to head to the surgery room, aka my cutting mat. These are my surgery instruments of choice. And if you've seen my Squishmallow blanket video or my Squishmallow tote bag video, you kind of have seen this process already, but I just wanted to showcase it again, just in case it's your first time watching one of these videos. And if it is, oh my gosh, welcome! I hope that you enjoy Squishmallow flesh creations. It's one of my top specialties around here as a Squishmallow plastic surgeon. You would think that I give Squishmallows BBLs on a regular basis, but I actually don't. Most Squishmallows want to be turned into a clothing object of some sort, so that is my specialty as a Squishmallow surgeon. Anyway, this step that you just saw me do was using a perforated rotary cutter to add these little holes onto the side of the Squishmallow. So I'm going to be adding some crochet elements and crochet borders around these Squishmallow flesh pieces. That's how I'm going to attach them all together because I don't know how to sew. I am not a sewer, so I'm using crochet for all of this. So those little holes are going to be basically where I'm sticking in my hook to crochet around these things. So now here comes my problem. I put this bad boy down and I'm like, wait, he does not lay flat. He does not lay flat at all. So we need a different solution, and I went nuclear. I just took this blade and I literally sliced him in half. It was very gruesome. I am so sorry you had to witness this, but hey, he lays flat now. But even though he was laying flat, he was still giving me problems because, like I said, there were such thick layers of fabric in here. There was a bunch of different fabrics to make his hat pieces, and it was so hard for me to cut through with this little rotary cutter. It was just a struggle. I literally cut this so unevenly. It was so bad. And also, to make matters worse, he was so thicky that he broke my thing. Huh? So anyway, this was the biggest battle I've ever fought in my life, but we got through it. We got through it, besties. And now we are moving on to the crochet portion. So I'm just taking a size G or 4mm hook, and I'm using some of this scrap pink yarn, and I'm just gonna go and stick my hook through all of those little holes that we made, and I am just adding a half double crochet in each hole and chaining in between each half double crochet. I find that this is the best way, at least for me personally, to crochet a border around the Squishmallows, because the half double crochet allows a little bit of flexibility. It's not going to be as tight as a single crochet, and then the chain also just helps keep the border even. I think for the tote bag I did just single crochets all around, and it was a little bit tight and it kind of scrunched together the Squishmallow fabric, which is not really ideal if you want them to lay flat. And after that I just did another round where I half double crocheted in each stitch, so now we have one square complete. All right, progress check. I'm all finished with 2 squares. I've done the front and the back of this Yeti. I forgot this one's name, but the all white one, I finished that off. However, I am running into a problem. So very naively, I thought that this little ball of pink yarn would be enough for all of the squares. But since I decided to do 2 rounds on each, which I'm really glad that I did because I think it makes it look a little more clean, I don't think I'm going to have enough pink yarn. So I think we're going to have to pivot here, and either I start incorporating a different yarn, or I take out all of my work that I already did on these and restart with a different yarn. So I don't want to do that. I really hate taking out my work. I think the plan is gonna be for me to keep trying to use up this white sparkly yarn, and I think this will be a good fit because of course this Yeti is white, so I think it ties in the white there, and then the like more Bigfoot looking one has the sparkles in the fur, so that ties in the sparkles. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave these pink. These will be kind of like a highlight or a little pop of color. The rest of the squares are going to be surrounded in white, but then to tie back in the pink, I'm going to save the rest of this and I'm going to use this for like the border around it. I don't know, I'm really trying to use up like random little scraps of yarn that I have, and these projects are a really great way to do that. I don't know why I thought this would be enough though, that's on me. Anyways, I think we're gonna go forward with that, so let's get started with this white yarn. Okay, update, I went ahead and did the first one, and it's looking like it'll be fine. It's cute, actually. I really like the sparkles with the little sparkles that are also in the Bigfoot fur, so yeah, it's cute. This is the first round done. I'm gonna keep working on this. I think I will check back in once I finish both of these Bigfoots. Okay, checking in. I finished both of them. They're still kind of uneven, but it's fine. It should be fine because once they're all sewn together, it doesn't really matter that much. These were a little bit tricky for me to cut out, so I think I just kind of cut them out a little bit unevenly, so that's why. But again, it shouldn't matter. So that's done. So I have those 2, and then I have the 2 pinks. So now all I have left to do is this guy. Where's his face? This guy, which I fully see this one also being tricky because this was impossible to cut out, as you saw. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm gonna work on these. Again, I'll do those in white. Oh my gosh, the fuzzies everywhere. And yeah, that'll pretty much be it. So I'll check in a bit. All right, I finished with the last 2, so now we have everything done. Here are those last 2. I'm all tangled up in the yarn, but okay, there we go. And then we've got the little face. Anyways, everything is done. So now I'm gonna figure out how to arrange these to make the top. Now you're probably thinking, Raven, that's barely enough to make a top. I know, I'm kind of doing a little bit of a cheat, a shortcut, if you will, and just making pretty much the front and then just making straps to tie it like a bikini top, basically, because otherwise I think I would go insane. So let's see what we can do here. I'm thinking that the pops of pink ones are gonna be like the center, right? I mean, if I just connect them in a panel like this, I could just do that, and then it's more of like a halter tube top. So that's one option, but there's another option we can do. They would be turned sideways though. I don't know how I feel exactly about that, but that is definitely an option. So if it's like this, and then maybe we put this Yeti one right here. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if I like this straight line though. Ooh, maybe instead I swap this one. That one goes there. Right, and then we just put this one back over here, and we put this one back over here. Okay, that's something. I don't mind that. So then I would put the straps on the top of here. I don't think that's enough coverage. Maybe it would be okay, but I feel like I would need to add maybe some triangles right here to add some more coverage. I could just sew it all together and see how it sits on me. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sew this together and just see where it takes me. Okay, everything is all sewn together, and I seriously need someone to slap some sense into me, because in what world did I think that this was enough coverage for the front of me? Were we looking at the same thing? I don't think so. So obviously I was thinking of adding straps here, so this would maybe sit like right there. Yeah, what about this whole chunk right here, Raven? Huh? What I'm thinking is I'll just make some quick half triangles, fill in this little spot right here with more yarn, and then that will maybe be fine. It'll at least be good enough for me to start trying this on. But worst case scenario, if I need more coverage, I'll just use the white yarn and just like add a thicker border all around. But ultimately I do want the final round of the border to be with the pink, or at least have the pink somewhere. I don't know how much we can do with it. There's not that much left, but we shall see. So I'm gonna get to work on some triangles and we'll finish this off. Okay, took a break to eat dinner. I am back. I am working on the triangles. I found this random chart online because, I don't know, I was trying to do it myself and it just wasn't coming out right. So I'm using this, and I really don't need it to be that large. It just has to be big enough to fit in that little space. So I think each side has to be like 4.5 inches or something like that, so it's like not bad at all. For dinner I made chicken and rice, and it came out so good flavor wise, but it was like one of those one pot chicken and rice things, so I used a different pot and pan than I usually would, and like the ratios and the recipe that I followed for the rice to like the chicken broth slash liquid was different from what I usually did, and I just trusted the recipe, and the rice came out crunchy and hard, and like it wasn't that bad to where I couldn't eat it. It was still edible, but the rice just like right in the center was just still hard, and I was like, ugh, I trusted this recipe. I even let it cook for longer because I was like, just in case, so the rice fully cooks, but no. So I think I definitely want to make it again, but next time, obviously change some things up so that the rice gets fully cooked and isn't hard. Anyway, I'm pretty close to being done with this, like I said, so I'm gonna do this and then I'll make the other one, and then I'll check back in once I have both finished, and I'll kind of show you how we're gonna arrange it or sew it onto the shirt. Hi, Pepper. Are you helping me with assembly? Yes. Oh, you're such a good assistant. Oh, you're a great assistant. Okay, so with Pepper's help, we're gonna lay this out. I've pretty much already got it. I mean, it's literally just like a puzzle. We're just gonna stick them in there. So it came out a little bit larger than the square kind of looks to be, as you can see. Kind of overlapping a little bit on the edge there, but I think it'll be fine. I'm just gonna stretch this end out just to I don't know, make it fit. And worst case scenario, hopefully the border I'm going to do around everything will just fix it all and make it all look good. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. We basically just made a heart shape. So I'm going to do straps here and here, and then I just need one on the side so I can tie it around my back. So either here or here, I don't know. We'll find a spot. What do you think, Pepper? Sound good to you? Yeah? I'm gonna take this away now. Okay? Okay, maybe we can play a little bit and then I'll take it away. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Look who's here to come play! Who's here to come play? Yeah? You want some of this too? You want some of this too? Here you go. Oh my goodness, so gentle. Oh my gosh, I just took the whole thing.
pretty rare. It's more sought after than it is rare. But the chinchilla was part of the last series of the postcard pets that they released. And another one in the last series is the inchworm. I can't find that one anywhere for cheap.
Hi, checking in. I was so naive earlier in this day when I thought that I would be able to finish this and edit and post the video in one day. No, I'm gonna have to edit this tomorrow. So a lot has happened. I added a border all around. I just did one row of white. It's looking real chaotic right now. So we've got straps at the top, and then I started putting straps on the side. So right now I have 3 separate straps on the side, but I am going to be taking the lowest one out. So at first I only had this one right here and this one like for the side, but then it was gaping really weird right here. So then I added this one, but now if I tie all 3, then it still has weird gaping. So if I get rid of the bottom one, then there's no gaping. So we're getting rid of some. And I already said how much I don't like to undo my work, but whatever. At least this is easy to get rid of and it's not really a big deal. But I'm sad because I'm kind of second guessing my idea to put the rest of the pink yarn somewhere. I really do want to because I feel like it'll just tie in that other pink yarn that I used really, really well. Because now it's like gonna be pointless for me using the pink, you know? Okay, that is undone. Sadly. Slightly less chaotic now? Not really. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start weaving in some ends while I brainstorm because I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So we're gonna do that and then I will figure out what I'm doing for a fringe slash border slash edge. I have figured it out. Okay, so I weaved in the ends and I decided that I'm going to do this little pattern, right? I think it's cute. And then I'm kind of like continuing it from this little bump right here that's from one of the straps. So it looks a little blended in, I guess, a little seamless. So we're going to continue that all the way down and then I'm just going to go back up the other way until we hit the other one. But I had a really, really exciting idea. Okay, so I've seen a lot of like either DIY tank tops or tank tops at like Ross that have beads on the strap and it's so cute and I really love it. But I was thinking how cute would it be if we put some beads on here? The only thing is these straps are pretty thick, so I think I only have 1 pair of beads that actually fit. So I have my Minecraft box which is full of my jewelry making accessories and I have some miscellaneous beads. I think the typical little like pony beads, I think that's what these are called. These don't fit. I tried to fit some on and it didn't fit. So the only ones that I have are these little ones. They're pretty cute. We've got like yellow and pink and white on them. I thought it might be kind of cute. I don't know. Let's just put them on and see. All right, so let's thread this on. Wait, did I do this on the right one? Oh my gosh, no. This isn't even the top strap. This is a side strap. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's on the right one. It's on the right one. That could be cute, right? It's just like a little something something. I think I like it. I think I'm gonna do it. I think it's cute. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I will finish this off and then I'm going to see you for the final reveal and I'm gonna try to like style this and stuff. So see you in a sec. All right, here's the final reveal. What do you guys think? I think it actually came out so much better than I thought. I actually, while I was making this, was so scared that it was coming out really, really bad, but I think it came out so cute. So I'm so proud of it. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't end up sewing on the extra ears or horns because this video took me all day, but maybe I'll do it eventually. I'll still keep those pieces just in case. I genuinely felt so excited throughout this whole process. I don't know, I just have like the spark right now for making these cursed Squishmallow projects. I really, really enjoyed it and like I got so excited like incorporating other things like the beads. This was so much fun for me. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Also do check me out on TikTok because I will be making a little bit more content over there with the shirt, like styling this whole outfit that I just did and all that kind of good stuff. So follow me there if you aren't already. Anyways, I'm gonna get going, but I have plenty more Squishmallow crochet cursed projects coming, trust me. Thank you so much again for watching and I will see you in the next one.